It's really homey, Amin said as he sat on the bunk bed. Sven smiled. It reminds me of the Shackleton station on Callisto. Maybe a bit more spacious. Have you been there? Eva looked at him in surprise. It was my first assignment in ESA. He nodded. Raoul whistled quietly, and Sven began to tell us about his time on the first permanent station in the outer system. I knew from my research that the conditions there had been suboptimal, and cyanide pills had been a standard item in everyone's survival kit. Much had changed since those days. Space travel had become much faster and safer, and our frontier now stretched to the moons of Saturn, with commercial vessels traveling there on a weekly basis. Our station lay well beyond it, at the far end of our solar system. But at least none of us were issued suicide pills. Our lifeboats had an 81% chance of carrying us safely to Titan, assuming we would survive the initial accident that forced us to use them in the first place. I shook my head, wondering why those kind of thoughts suddenly spread through my systems. We are safe, I told myself. My pad pinged, and I saw Neil looking at me with a smile. I looked at the screen and saw Sven's drawing, accompanied by the short message, "For you." So my assumptions had been correct, and she had commissioned it for me. I still didn't understand why she had done it, but I looked at her and nodded a thank you. I didn't want to analyze it any further, knowing that without fresh input, my efforts would be futile. But his drawing stirred something in me, and a wave of emotions flooded my systems. What had Eva wanted to say back then? My systems couldn't come up with any definitive answer, and I didn't want to disturb her, seeing her discussing something with Raoul. I wished I could switch off my feelings, as I could switch off my cognitive functions, but it was not possible. They were part of my core functions that made me who I was, and there was no way to stop them without putting all my systems offline. It was still too early to rest. I sighed. Sven and Armin were deep into a conversation about their time in deep space, and Nee sat on her top bed and flipped her JoJo, hoping it would reach the floor. I could tell her directly that the string was too short for that, but she was so deeply focused on the task that I didn't want to disturb her. With all the main station systems offline, I didn't have any way to continue my work, which would be the most natural course of events when I was flooded with these confusing emotions. But this time, I couldn't find peace in the binary solutions and the endless stream of data as I used to. Had I become restless like Nee? I analyzed the possibility. She became like this when she was faced with limited external stimuli, when the stimuli were repetitive in nature. The first possibility met the criteria of my situation, so there was a 78% chance that we had more in common than I'd thought. It also meant that I preferred external stimuli, or something totally different, since I liked the repetitive nature of my work tasks. I sighed. That was obvious. Had I just wasted my processing power to come to that conclusion? But it had at least proved that my systems were fully operational, and I was capable of understanding other people, when they were not an anomaly like Eva. I sighed. Are you okay? Nee asked, looking at me. I'm fine. She jumped from her bunk and sat next to me. Ria, Ria, what happened? She asked quietly. As long as the station computers are offline, I have nothing to work on. She shook her head. You're only thinking about work. You should try to have some fun sometimes. I have fun when I work. But what about having some more fun with Eva? She whispered. She painted your toenails. You camped together. That kind of fun. In nanoseconds, my systems reached full capacity as I analyzed Nee's suggestion. Camping hadn't been our choice, and I had only a 2% indication that Eva liked it. But painting my nails. She had put a considerable amount of effort into winning our debate, which convinced me to let her to do it. So it was something she considered important, I reasoned. If she just wanted to practice her skills, she could have used Raul or Nee, as they would have agreed without discussion. So yes, I was 89% sure that she liked painting my nails, even if I didn't yet understand why. Nee put her arm around me and whispered, Don't worry, Ria, I will help you. Trust me. She smiled. Help me with what? My systems couldn't find any definitive answer to that inquiry.